On this video, we're going to describe the similarities between New York City and Charleston, South Carolina.
All right, y'all.
Hey, y'all. Hi, I'm Steven.
And I'm Bret.
And we're the Broadway husbands.
And on this channel, we share our lives and our adventures of living the creative life and starting a family. So we hope you will subscribe by clicking the button below. First off, the easiest way that we can describe Charleston to our friends from New York City is by showing them a map, which we're going to show you right now. So, Manhattan is an island.
That's right.
And Charleston is a peninsula.
That's right.
Now, Manhattan is probably 4 or 5 times bigger than Charleston's peninsula.
Like land, like geographically.
But if you hold up a map of the two, you can actually very easily explain what the different areas and different neighborhoods are like in similarities. So
it's almost like the 5 boroughs of New York City into the 5 boroughs of Charleston.
So number 1 is the Charleston, the peninsula itself. Now,
it's like Manhattan.
It's like Manhattan if Times Square was colonial 17th century architecture and nothing was taller than 7 stories. But the architecture is much prettier because they've preserved so much of it. And a lot of it is residential, but a big part of it is tourists. The peninsula is where you want to be to do the horse-drawn carriages, the ghost tours. That's all the peninsula.
Yeah, and like most of the area that's kind of like the Times Square of the peninsula is Market Street.
North of there, you're gonna start to hit, well, really, if you get north of the peninsula, you go to North Charleston, which is kind of like
the Bronx.
The Bronx of Charleston.
Like geographically on the map, it looks like it would be the Bronx.
And it is kind of like, you know, the Bronx, and that like there's some really nice neighborhoods and then there's some really like not great neighborhoods, but it's huge. The Bronx is pretty big, yeah. And you can tell that it's like getting its resurgence, and so there's stuff really changing. And it's also like really a separate city. It's not like in New York City, the Bronx is a part of New York City, but North Charleston is like really its own city. So that in that way, it's a little different. But to the east, where maybe Queens would be,
you would travel over the Ravenel Bridge to go to Mount Pleasant, which would be like Queens, and then would Sullivan's Island.
Yeah, and then you go down to Sullivan's Island, Daniel Island,
and that would kind of be like,
well, Daniel Island. No, well, I would say Sullivan's Island's more like the Brooklyn, but Sullivan's Island's more like Brooklyn Heights. Is very like expensive, wealthy homes, waterfront houses, but it's kind of like Brooklyn. It's still kind of Mount Pleasant, but old Mount Pleasant would be like Brooklyn,
right?
And then Mount Pleasant, it's really kind of Queens.
Yeah,
yeah. That area is, I would say, very family oriented.
In Mount Pleasant?
Yeah. Yeah, they've got, that's where the P.F. Chang's is, and they have all the big shopping malls and like all the like... Okay, now if you go west of Manhattan,
you would be in Jersey City or New Jersey, and here you would be in West Ashley.
And we love West Ashley.
Yeah, West Ashley's amazing. We love it there.
It's actually the first area that was settled. It's where Charlestown Landing is. Mm-hmm. And so all the there's like older areas, a lot of suburban, but like mid-century suburban, like 50s homes. Everything's like almost right on the water, so it's very pretty. But then there's also this really cool area called Avondale, which
very cute.
Is where we would want to live. But there's little walkable places to eat and get coffee.
Yeah, that's where Highfalutin Coffee is.
That's our place.
Mm-hmm. And so then if you go from West Ashley to James Island, that would kind of be like going to Staten Island.
Totally.
But James Island is not really anything like Staten Island.
where we went to the Holiday Festival of Lights. That's where the James Island County Park is.
And
so
Folly Beach.
And Folly Beach is over there, and it is a little more laid back. There's a little more space than a lot of the other places. James Island is quieter, at least so far. I hear summer's pretty crazy because everyone goes to Folly Beach.
Yeah.
But you can literally get to downtown on the peninsula in like 15 minutes from James Island.
Super close.
So that is our way of explaining Charleston area. Do you have a different way of explaining it? Let us know. There's a link below for some of our favorite guidebooks that you can purchase on Amazon. So check those out if you are making a plan to come to Charleston. All right, see you soon.
Bye.